More than happy to. So my name's Steve Wearne. I'm Director of Science at the Food Standards Agency in the UK, but I'm also one of the 3 Vice Chairs of Codex Alimentarius Commission, which is the global food standards setting body. And this is actually my first time at GFSI conference. It's very exciting, although the UK government has sent a delegation in each of the past 4 years. And it's a great place to come together and hear what the current thinking is. In Codex, I'm one of the 3 Vice Chairs elected by the 188 member countries of the organisation, and so part of my role is to advocate for the use of Codex standards, and it's been really great talking to people here this week. But one of my other parts of the Codex role is leading on the development of the Codex strategy, so our next strategy for 2020 to 2025. The strategy is the way we set out how we're going to advance the mandate of Codex, which is to protect consumer health and also to promote fair practices in the food trade. So 5 key goals in the new strategy, really briefly. The first one about making sure we're responsive to member country needs. The second one about making sure that our standards continue to be based on science and sound risk analysis. Jumping forward, the 4th one about making sure that we enable and facilitate all member countries to be able to work in Codex, and finally that we have the effective systems. I missed out the 3rd one because that's the new one, which is really exciting. So the new strategic goal for the next 6 years will be to deliver impact through the recognition and use of Codex standards. And I think it's really important because this is the first time that Codex will have had a goal which relates to not just the adoption of Codex standards by national authorities, but also to the use of Codex standards by the food trade and other actors as non-legislative benchmarks. I think there's some really great opportunities there, and of course the GFSI benchmark requirements already reference Codex standards, so that gives us a great start. I think there is that particular opportunity as we look to further develop the guidelines for use by national governments in how they can use data from third-party assurance programs to support delivery of their national food control system objectives. There's a great opportunity to work together. So we have a shared objective, and we both want to create a virtuous cycle where Codex facilitates and celebrates the use of our standards as non-legislative benchmarks, where national administrations then value and have confidence in the data from third-party assurance programs and how they can be used, and together we really optimise the utilisation of resources to protect consumers. But I think it goes much more widely than that as well. If you look across the range of active Codex work, from food hygiene to countering antimicrobial resistance, wherever there's a food safety element, I think there's the potential for Codex and GFSI to work together. It is. So this is something that Codex decided to create a time-limited task force to consider in 2017. I had the great honour to chair the Physical Working Group in London the winter before, which defined the scope of the work that's needed. So we're working on 2 things: a revision of the Code of Practice on managing antimicrobial resistance throughout the whole food chain, and also for the first time trying to develop some integrated guidelines for AMR surveillance. Both of those are really testing pieces of work because the state of knowledge is incomplete, so we need to understand how much science there is that we can use and how much practical guidance we can give. But I really hope that we can move forward and make some real progress in this coming year, because time's short, and we all know that it is a global objective of the United Nations and of FAO and WHO and OIE, so we need to do something that's really effective within Codex.